Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Saturn Girl. Sorry, Sean. I'm actually looking at your texts right now, your tweets. uh, it's just suddenly showing up now. Anyway, guys, yeah. I just see the in the chat as I show up. Sean s.h.i.e.L.D, my Agamato says, podcast time question. Who's your favorite Legion of Superhero member? Saturn Girl. That's an easy one for me. I don't know why. I love the Legion of Superheroes. I have the ring, just have to go through too much to get it. So, but and then Dick Fillmore, Zorro. Yes, Zorro. What's going on? What's going on, Dick? What's going on, brother? So, yeah, just looking through Sean s.h.i.e.L.D.'s text. Dude, this is really sad. Action Comics 992. Looks like Jor-El's going to wind up biting the big one. That's messed up. Excuse me. I'm glad that Rogue is going to... Somebody's going to at least do a Rogue follow-up with Deadpool. Darkhawk 51 sneak peek. Really looking forward to that. Darkhawk explained in a minute, guys, by all means. And, oh, yeah, got a... I don't think anybody is noticing that I put up 2 videos today just recently. One of them you can see right there. What do you got? Hey, Nova Bro got 90 copies of the Halloween Fest free comics. What? 90 copies? You know what the big issue is today? I forgot to go out. I know that they were doing stuff, and I was actually going to go to Stadium Comics and check all their stuff out, and I totally forgot to. They were dressing up. You got somebody dressing up as... I forget who they're dressing up. I think one of them was going to be dressing up as Wonder Woman. I forget who the other girl was. There's always those 2 girls dressing up. I forgot who they were going to dress up as. I messed up. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of things were late today, but I actually got it all out. I did my Dracula stuff. I was really hoping to do something cool for Halloween, and what's more Halloween than Dracula? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a couple other things also, whatever. We're going to see what's up. I was actually planning on hitting, Black Panther 166 was pretty good. I am going to do a review for that. I'm going to put that up tomorrow. Kids are still up. I was working so long and so hard on these 2 things today for Dracula. The Dracula Explained in a Minute, which was actually 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And then also the X-Men comic Dracula versus Apocalypse versus Dracula. Those 4 issues. That was a lot. That was a lot to cram in because Dracula is such an expansive character. I could have gone on for 10 minutes and still not covered everything. There's so much history for Dracula just in the Marvel Universe alone. All the retcons and the corrections and the fixes and everything. There's so much. And I'm actually surprised I was able to bring it down to only 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Just saying, because wow. Good spotlight. Thank you, Dick. I try. I love doing those. I really do love doing those. So when you can... Sean really wants me to start reviewing Spider-Man. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Tell me which comic book you want me to stop reviewing so that I can start reviewing that. And then we'll have a debate. Did you mention Silver Surfer versus Dracula? What I did was I think I was able to put one of the pictures in there. I didn't want to get too into it, but yeah, that one where he sneaks up on him and belts him. But the best one is where he's not even sneaking. Because Silver Surfer's like, how did I not detect you coming up behind me? Because I'm Dracula, punk. He's Dracula, man. But also the one where he's just like, hey, you're the Silver Surfer, huh? Get out of here. Silver Surfer's like... Dracula's a beast, man. Like I have in there, he only lifts approximately 4 tons. One of the things I couldn't put in there because like it's just too expansive. Like with his powers, I got to the bare minimum. But one of the things I could have easily put in there is that his strength increases, his powers increase based on whose blood he drinks. So there's a couple pictures in there where you see him going one-on-one with Thor and his weather control. Like they say in that comic where you get to see that, they show that Dracula's summoning the storm and Thor is summoning the storm. And he's got me all near there also. And he's just like, he's got up there like a weather rod and everything. And they're battling and the lightning comes, but it doesn't know who to obey. I'm just saying, like, that was never even the case with Thor versus Storm. With Storm and Thor, the lightning would always obey Thor. Because, like, he's a god. You know, he's not just saying he's a god. He's an actual god. So yeah, and with Mjolnir, it's so over the top. It's insane. So of course the lightning is going to obey him. But with Dracula, the lightning was like, I'm just going to go like this. Like that. That's wild when you go back and you read some of those comics and you really think about how powerful he was. And I know, like, a lot of people don't necessarily get, you know, today, like, especially if you're younger. Like, I'm 42, you know what I'm saying? If you're a lot younger and you're, like, in your 20s, or if you're in your teens, you're just like, Dracula, man, who cares? The universal monster. Dracula's not scary. Listen. Dracula was scary back in the day. Today, you got things that are just like over the top. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're not hacking off somebody's arm, or you're not watching like Hostel or Saw where there's gore everywhere, or like the ghosts of like, you know, The Ring and The Grudge and stuff like that. I don't know, or like the Friday the 13th movies. Look, they're all good. I did Jason Voorhees Explained in a Minute in the beginning of Halloween, you know, just so I can have that diaspora right there of both of them together. I really wanted to have that, you know, but it's like Dracula represents that incarnate horror. I want you to think about this psychologically. You know, I always try to refer things back to psychology. Psychologically, human beings don't really have a lot of instinct. I mean, think about it. When we rear our young, I mean, like, for crying out loud, if a baby horse can't walk within a couple minutes of it being born, mama leaves it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you can't follow, you're on your own, buddy. I mean, like, that's the way it works. You know, it's literally like survival of the fittest out there. So with humans, we rear our kids for how many years? And look, if you are in your upper teens, or if you're in your early 20s, even your mid-20s, I'm going to tell you this right now. You're still not fully developed. Your brain's still not fully developed. You know what I'm saying? I hate talking about like violence and stuff like that because I'm pretty much done with that in my life. But this was when I'd first come up here to Canada. Everybody thinks that Canadians are always so nice. Not necessarily. I was in McDonald's, and I don't like going to McDonald's. I don't like eating that food and stuff like that. But there was actually this cat who came in. He was with all of his friends and everything. It was on a Friday. They just got out of school. They decided they're going to hang out at McDonald's because, you know, that's where all the cool gangs hang out. Come on, man. It's a freaking McDonald's. You might as well go to the mall. You know, say, we're the mall gang, man. Shut up. So, you know, there's kids in there. And I'm trying to, I had to walk over, you know, like I got both my kids there and I can't get a tray and I don't want to leave the kids. They walk all the way around to get the stuff. So I get one of those little, Canada's pretty convenient. I don't know if your McDonald's has this, but they have those little devices where, you know, you plug it in. It's like, okay, I'm going to be at my table. Tell me when my food is ready, please. And then, you know, I'll come out there and I'll get the stuff. So I'll take a picture of all the comics I got today and DM you on Twitter. Yes, please do that. Nova Bro, please do that. But let's see. Anyway, so yeah, just this kid. He shows up and he's just like, you know, he's standing there, and I'm trying to go the same way he's going, and I'm right there. He's got to go around all this other stuff, so I'd have to back up a lot for him to go. So it clearly made more sense for him to move out of my way. So like, excuse me, and he just stands there and he stares at me. He comes up to like here on me, you know. And then I was just like, excuse me, please? Like, literally like that, you know? And he's like, what does he say? He said something to me that was just really rude, but he didn't move. I'm like, you're probably going to want to back up now. And he just looks at me. He's like, go ahead, man. Go. 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 So I look at him. I'm not going to be told what to do by some little punk, you know? Kid's like, maybe he's 15 or 16, I don't know. And he's just talking to me like that. I'm like, unbelievable. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to say to this little punk. So he's like, are you going to move or what? I said, no, I'm not. You're going to talk to me like that? I absolutely won't. So I'm thinking about telling him, like, you know, maybe you should consider walking all the way around to get to where you're going to get your extra packet of ketchup or whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm mad at this kid right now. And he steps up a little bit closer to me again. He says, this could go real bad for you. Yo, I am a combat infantry veteran of the U.S. Army. Forget about martial arts since I was 8 years old. Forget about that. Just like, I am a combat veteran. I hate to constantly throw that at somebody, and I did throw this at him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, dude, I have faced freaking fiery death. And you think a little 15-year-old, 16-year-old punk is going to scare me? Let me tell you the 3 things you're going to need to take me on in a fight. A lot of friends, a lot of weapons, and pack a lunch because you're going to be there for a while. This little mother fathead, I wanted to smack him so hard, send his head through a mirror. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But like, this is kids, man. This is kids. And like, I went so into this, I'm like forgetting why exactly I got into this conversation. But like, I couldn't believe this kid. So I'm sitting there like, I start yelling at the kid. I was like, you want to get in my face? Take your move, punk. Take a swing, you little punk, little princess. Come on, cupcake, take your swing, you little pussy. And I'm like screaming at him like that. And just like, I'm losing it. All these other kids get up and start with their cell phones. So if you look hard enough, you might find something on YouTube. I looked. I haven't seen anything. But seriously, if you guys do find it, oh, please send it to me. Please send me the link. I would love to actually see it. Because they get up and they're just like, they're trying to put the cameras in my face and all over the place. And then they realize what's actually happening. Because now I'm repeating what he said. It's like, I asked you to move twice politely. I said please, and you threaten me? Who the hell do you think you are? And I just, oh my God. And he says at one point, this is like the best part. He says, come outside, step outside, come outside. I got my 2 kids right here. You think I'm going to leave my kids and walk outside to put your head through a freaking window or something like that? What are you thinking about? So I respond to him like, dude, are you kidding me? What do you want to do outside that you can't do in here? You trying to take me out back and kiss me, little girl? What are you trying to do? You can come over here and kiss me all you want, princess. Come on over here and pucker up, buttercup. And he's just, all his friends are laughing at him. Every single one of his friends are laughing at him. Like, I'm just like, I can't believe this freaking guy. But like, these are kids. Kids like to think that their bodies are fully developed. No. Until you get above the 25 level, you're not, sorry to say this, you're not fully in control of your mind. Okay, you're still working off of testosterone or estrogen, whatever your situation is. You're still working off of, like, you're not necessarily finished with all your growth and everything like that. So like, it's just one of those things where it's like, no, dude, no. I remember how I got into this because I was talking about basic human instinct, okay? The child rearing and things like that. It takes forever for humans to grow up to adulthood. It takes forever for humans to become self-sufficient. We don't have instinct. We've evolved past instinct. Here's the funny thing. Here's the really funny thing about that. We do have one instinctual concept that sticks with us, that we can't explain it. It's completely irrational, or so we would think. Here's that fear, okay? Here's that fear that we all have, every single one of us as human beings. It's something moving closer to us slowly. If something's running towards us, this is an immediate threat. It's like, oh crap, we have our eyes in front of us. We don't have them on the side, so we have 3-dimensional vision. We can see something actually getting closer, getting larger, and we know that it's getting closer. It's not just puffing up and things like that. We can actually tell the direction that it's coming towards us. So now, here's the thing. This was actually all about Dracula. Here's the thing with Dracula. Dracula has always been that guy. He's got the cape up. But you know what's behind the cape. You know. It's not about showing you the fangs. That's the spoiler. It's about him putting the cape up, slowly walking forward. And it's just that terror, like he's coming. I can't stop him. He's increasing that fear, like he wants to taste my fear in my blood. It's freaking terrifying. That, my friends, is horror. That's one of those things that Dracula has always been able to bring out in us, that primordial fear. Look, you walk around, here's a jump scare. Rah! You know, like, Anything. Look at my Werewolf by Night explained in a minute. Watch it all the way to the very end. There's a jump scare in there. Surprise. if you didn't find it, there's a jump scare in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, yay! Here's a little jump scare for you. Dracula doesn't do that. Dracula's not all about, you know, you walk around the corner and blah! No, there is no. Dracula's all about that slow, primordial, instinctual fear that just sinks terror into you like his fangs in your throat. That's what Dracula is, and I love that. I absolutely love that. And there's so much history behind Dracula. It's crazy. Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr., Dick Fillmore says, and Cannonball Run. Bring friends. A whole lot of them. There you go. Cannonball Run was fun, man. Actually, that's a movie that we've both seen. Loud effing dog. Yes. So you've seen it all the way to the end. This is the best story ever. I know, right, Sean? Just sometimes you just got dum-dums. Sean, so the X-Men editor hints Moonstar might get her powers back. That's actually pretty cool. You know she's going to. I was hoping they weren't going to just give it to a different person. That would have really stunk. Who's your favorite Cyclops kid out of the three? Who's your favorite? I don't understand what that means, Sean. Your favorite Cyclops kid out of the three. I'm going as Karnak for Halloween. Dude, that's awesome, Sean. Nice. You saw I went as Karnak for my Karnak Explained in a Minute video. Not the video itself, but the spotlight on story. So, yeah. Who's the Cyclops kid? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about Cyclops' kids? Oh, that'd have to be Cable. He's got the most story. I mean, I love me some Prestige, but for the most part, out of the Nate Gray and Cable, Nate Gray, and Rachel. Like, Nate Gray is powerful. You know what I'm saying? All of them are powerful. It's ridiculous how freaking powerful they all are. Sinister was right. That's all I'm saying. Sinister was right. They say Cyclops was right? No. Sinister was right about Cyclops. They really did have the most powerful kids. But I like Cable the best because we all know that he can be uber ridiculously powerful like Strife. But Cable has to temper his abilities because he's focused on trying to stop the techno-organic virus from taking him over, you know? So, like, there's a tragedy there that he's so ridiculously powerful, but he's got to put it something else. Like, that's one of the things that we like about the Marvel Comics. All the heroes are flawed, you know? That's what a lot of people claim they don't like about Riri Williams. I find flaws in her, but there's that. Crap! I was really hoping Comic Boom and I was hoping that Comic Boom and I could have a conversation. It couldn't have been this week. There's no way it could have been this week. But maybe I can try to arrange something with him next week. Have a conversation with him about what do you call it? The Iron Man. Why I don't like Iron Man. And I'm sure that all the other versions of Iron Man are going to pop up at some point. From James Rhodes to Doctor Doom to Riri. We'll see. But anyway, Baby Cable was in Inferno. Yes, he was. That was actually his original first appearance, which is was it even as soon as Inferno? It might have been. You're probably right. I know they showed the yeah, that's right, because she was holding the baby and all that stuff. But then they also showed, but they never actually said that it was, you know, Cable per se. And then later on, they just in New Mutants, like, hey, here's this guy, he's really powerful. Who's this guy? Who's Cable? Hey, what's going on? And all of a sudden, by the way, so yeah, there was a lot in there. Is Rachel the older or younger sister? I believe she's the younger sister. I think Cable is the oldest. And guys, if you haven't read the latest Deadpool comics, really good stuff in there. A lot of stuff by Walt Simonson in there. No, he didn't actually do the stuff. The TVA, the Time Variance Authority is in there, including Justice Peace. They actually show that Cable killed him not too long after he met up with Thor. So that's an interesting retcon. Like, you sons of guns. Anyway, can you talk about how the Titans of Tomorrow will be in DC Rebirth? Yes, Titans of Tomorrow will be in DC's Rebirth. I haven't. You're talking about the. Well, they should. Yeah, they should be. They just got well, not. They didn't just get introduced, but in Detective Comics, Tim Drake Sr., Tim Drake, the older version of Tim Drake, who is kicking butt right now. He just beat up the entire Bat family in the latest issue, but in the previous issue, 2.5 weeks ago, he just name dropped Connor Kent. So, yeah, we could be seeing some. Which shirt? No, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt. It's funny. My favorite superhero shirt is actually the Superboy, the Superman clone shirt, Connor Kent. So, but don't touch Walt Simonson. That's a sin. No, you're right. You're right, Dick. And I literally looked at it. I was like, okay, come on, dude, come on. But I'm just gonna say it's an alternate story. It's an alternate timeline. But anyway. You know what? I actually did write a couple things here I wanted to, and everything I want to talk about is DC. Case in point, Hawkman Found issue number 1. Holy crap. Did you guys see the cover of that? You should literally go and look up the cover for Hawkman Found issue number 1, Battle of the Hawk Gods, it's looking like. Like, the Hawk God is pissed at, it looks like he's pissed at Carter Hall. And yes, this should indeed be the Carter Hall version coming back. Look, I like the whole Qatar Hall thing. He's cool-ish, you know. He's got the best outfit I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's all geared up with the gold and the blue pants and all that stuff. It looks good. Looks really good. But I like Carter Hall's backstory a whole lot better. So I'm going to stick with that one. So I'm very happy to see that Carter Hall is actually going to be coming back. I can't wait. Joe Fisher, 201 Uncanny X-Men showed baby Nathan when Cyclops lost to Storm. That was the one. Thank you. I knew it was one of them. I couldn't remember which one. So issue number 201. Cool. There you go. Yeah, that one's always like marked up in the comic book stores. And it's like, okay, we don't actually know if it's really him. It's only the first appearance if you say it's a first appearance. Case in point, what was the first appearance of Wolverine in the comic books? You could say that it was his first full appearance, which was issue number 181 in The Incredible Hulk. Or you could say it was his cameo appearance, the issue prior to that, issue number 180. Or you could say it was, what was it, Thor number 266, I think it was. I forget which one it was, but there was a small panel where it said, coming soon, Wolverine, in the pages of Incredible Hulk number 181, where it said 181, that's where he's coming, right? So maybe that was his first appearance in comics, because technically that was the first time that he ever appeared in comics. It was in an advertisement for, you know, the Wolverine coming in the Hulk comic. So which one of those three is the actual? It all depends on what you look at it as. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one was the first appearance of Wolverine? What was the first appearance of Cable? Hard to say. Let's see. Kids demanding my attention will be back in time. Hopefully. Be cool, everyone. All right. I'll see you later, brother. He says 180. All right. He had to get his opinion in. No, and I would not disagree. I would not disagree. But they're all valid. They're all valid arguments. Are you hyped for Captain America 695? Dude, Captain America's my favorite comic book character of all time. He's my absolute hands-down favorite. Yes, I'm hyped. Yes, I'm hyped. I didn't like when he became a Hydra agent, but I was hyped for it anyway. I was like, oh, there's a totally different storyline I've never read before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm down for it, man. I'm down for it. So, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he is better known as Negan. He was asked a few times about, is he going to be playing Thomas Wayne again? He played Thomas Wayne in the very beginning of Batman vs. Superman. And everybody speculated, he looks like he could be future, you know, Batman, like the Thomas Wayne Batman from Flashpoint. He totally could. Or the alternate version of not Flashpoint, but post-Flashpoint, where he actually survived. So, like, could it be? He's playing fast and loose with answers. Now, is this a big deal? Maybe not. But it does mean that, so I'm not focusing on the idea that he's, you know, not actually giving good answers, that he's being evasive. That's not what I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on is the idea that a lot of people are asking. Now, this is a good thing. And my recommendation is keep tweeting. Seriously, keep tweeting. Keep asking on Facebook. Keep asking in person. Keep asking the panels at all these DC conventions that they do. Or, you know, when the DC shows up at the different comic book conventions. Just keep asking. Because the more you ask, the more hashtags that are used, the more keywords that are put out there, the more hype that's out there, the more likely it is to happen. You know? Eventually, everybody's got to get with the program. Eventually, everybody has to get with the program that social media is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, dude. You know what I'm saying? So get used to it. We're going to tell you what we want. You can either say, we should do something about that. Or you keep on doing what you've been doing and just, you know, We have a study panel, and we know what's best. Shut up, man. No, you don't. You don't know what's best. So that's what I'm looking for. Nova, bro. I just realized that I can't DM you until you follow me. I thought I did follow you. Yeah, I purposefully followed you because you're gonna have to send me a tweet or something so I can actually find you. I don't know where I can find you. Are you actually Nova Bro on here? Because I'm just saying, I would totally follow you. Psst. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, sorry, dude. I don't want to spend my whole day looking for you. I know you're on here somewhere though. Anyway, yeah, try and send me something, and then yeah, sorry, and then I'll follow you back so you can do all that. Oh, okay. So we got some. What is this? Oh, a Captain America variant right here from my Eye of Agamotto for $6.95. Look at that. Hello. That actually looks really good. That's really freaking good art right there. Damn. So, anyway. Okay, you go away. So, what else do we have? Oh, yeah, they're constantly changing things. Case in point, they changed Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman actually said, who do I want to get a DC Rebirth book? I want Legion of Superheroes Rebirth. You know what's funny is that somebody on Facebook who I follow, an independent comics writer, just he said he asked me that question, and I put in a couple of different things, whatever. But Legion of Superheroes was one of the things I put in. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but here's the trick of it. I want it to be in the present day. I know that they're all in the future, 25th century, if I remember correctly. I actually want to see them in the present day. I want, there's some kind of a problem, whatever, even if it's just a miniseries. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just like a 6 or 8 issue miniseries, something like that, a limited run. I want to see that, but I want to see them in the present day. I want to see them have to deal with the present day stuff and whatnot. That's what I want. So, yeah, I would really, really be all over that. I would jump all over that. Really quick, the Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot just admitted recently that that DC did do a whole lot of last-minute changes to Wonder Woman. Originally, they were trying to keep everything dark after the whole Batman vs Superman thing. The first week did a whole lot of money, but that's the problem. It's always something like that's of course going to do a lot of money in the first week. It's that second week you were looking for, the second week drop off. And no, I'm not talking about hindsight here. I'm talking with more authority with hindsight. But even way back in the day when I was just doing podcasts in general, I was talking about, dude, we got to see what exactly is going to happen, because everybody's going to want to go and see the Trinity in the first, movie adaptation, all three of them together. The question is, what about the repeat viewings? Are there going to be a lot of repeat viewings? Because if there's a drop-off afterwards, that's the thing, and I think that there might be a significant drop-off. I didn't realize that it was going to be a record-breaking drop-off. That's the thing. So, they were originally making it that Wonder Woman completely gave up hope on humanity after she'd helped that first time back in World War I. So them turning around and saying, no, she didn't lose hope in them, because Wonder Woman wouldn't give up on people. She wouldn't give up. So that's good. That's good. See, that's one of those things where you're listening to the fans now. We don't mind the quick little retcons, as long as those retcons are going more towards making the character more believable, making the character more like the comic book character that we read. You know what I'm saying? We just don't call her Wonder Woman if she's that much different. You want to make her a little bit different? I get it. But when it's radically different, it's not Wonder Woman anymore. Take her out of the costume, change the name, make it something else. Grow a pair and actually try and start some new adventure. Why not? Don't try and ruin our comic book characters. Joe Manganiello. I've never actually heard his name pronounced out loud, I don't think, but you know who I'm talking about. Deathstroke, baby. So he finally got, I actually just put this up on my Comic Book University at Real Professor Bill on Facebook. I don't put a lot of news up on there, but when I do, I want it to be something that's actually big. So they went from all these different versions of, okay, we're not going to be doing anything. Okay, yeah, he's going to be the main bad guy in the Batman movie. Okay, well, he's going to take a minor role now. There's going to be a whole bunch of other things. Okay, now Batfleck is actually completely out. Okay, well, he's not completely out of the movies now. Okay, now we're not going to do anything with Joe Mag. We're not going to have Deathstroke in there. So all of a sudden, all the complaints, all the constant, hey, what's going on from the fans? And what happened? Now they're like, yeah, we're going to give him a solo movie. That's what I'm talking about. When the fans speak, eventually somebody's got to listen. If they're smart, if they're a bunch of dummies, but eventually somebody's got to listen. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I got. So I'll talk to you guys. I'm joking. I'm not going to just hang up right now. If Tom King, Sean Sindrai says, if Tom King writes for Marvel, I want him to do a Triton solo series. We talked about this. I don't remember if we talked about Tom King doing it, but that's the thing, though. He could be good at Triton. He might be. I don't know. But what he would be good at is something that is more along the lines of like a Batman type of character. So he might write the greatest freaking Moon Knight story ever. There's that. You know, he might write a run of Moon Knight that would blow everybody out of the water. You know what else would actually be pretty cool? And you know what I would actually really like to see if he's going to take like a really B shelf, a Z list character. Excuse me. I would really like to see him do Nighthawk. You know what I'm saying? Nighthawk just died. He just died in the final or second to last issue, the penultimate issue of Occupy Avengers. You know, so he's available. Nobody's writing him right now. If he were to write a run with him, I bet you all of a sudden he would just be like one of those top tier characters practically overnight. You know what I'm saying? Over Nighthawk. Get it? He could also be good at writing Night Thrasher. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something for you right there, man. I wouldn't mind seeing him jumping on Night Thrasher. That could actually be fun. I just want to see him take up one of those characters who's a lot like Batman, and there's so many of them, and then just, boom, hit it hard, you know? Get a marine biologist to write about Triton. Who wrote Red October? Tom Clancy? I think that was it. Make Tom Clancy write for freaking Triton. You know, do something fun like that. Hold on. Okay, I tweeted you, but what is your favorite horror movie? Oh, my favorite horror movie. Okay, this is going to freak a lot of people out. My favorite horror movie is my 8th grade graduation on video. I'm joking. My 8th grade graduation video actually had to be edited because we did the whole walk down to the stage and we're all sitting there, and we were actually in Fort Monmouth doing this. So go figure. I had a whole bunch of influences in the military. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I join the military? But they had the cameras on us while we were sitting there, and somebody, the principal, whatever, was giving the commencement address. And we're just like, We're just sitting there, and our parents and everybody's out there in the audience. And they had the camera over here and, you know, panning around. They had one over there too, I think. I don't know. But this one, it just kind of stopped. And it stopped dead on me. And the guy, I turn and I look, and the guy's sitting there like talking to his buddy, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just looking at the camera, and I'm just like, and I'm just being like a total dweeb. I'm totally geeking out. I'm just like, hey, no. I'm just being silly like that. I'm in a tux, a nice white tux. You know what I'm saying? I took my best friend and her best friend to these two girls. I took them to the to the 8th grade graduation. I got 2 girls in my arms. All my pictures. My mom's proudly displaying 2 girls. I'm just sitting there. That's right. What's going on? Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm pimping out with 2 beautiful women on either side. And I go there and I just act like a total dork. They had to cut that entire part out. The whole entire part, they had to cut it out. And then put in not stock footage, but other footage to overlay on it while they were still using the sound. So I made them pretty heavily edit this freaking thing. And when you actually watch the graduation, the video, I still got it on tape. It's literally just, you know, me turning like this, and that's it. And it cuts off, and it goes to like all these other, you know, just whatever with the guy, the vice or the principal talking over it. It's like, man, I ruined the freaking tape. Oh man, kids are stupid. See what I'm talking about? Kids are stupid. I was stupid. But my favorite horror movie, I liked The Grudge, the American version of The Grudge. I went back and I saw, remember how Ju-on, the Japanese version. I went back and I saw that, and yeah, that was just as good. You know what I'm saying? Except it was in horror. My Japanese is shaky. It's really shaky. I'm not even conversational with Japanese. I can get from here to there in a taxi cab, and I won't starve. You know what I'm saying, in my Japanese. But as far as actually like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Where's the local park? No, I can't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I saw this movie, and I saw it in the theaters, and it was just so different. The average movie that you watch, the American horror, like I was saying before, is jump scares. You know what I'm saying? Like even like the Friday the 13th ones, they're not as big as they used to be. Freddy Krueger, what happened to him? Nobody knows what happened to these. So when they did the remake Rob Zombie did the remake of frickin' Halloween, it was like, all right, yeah, Halloween was such a great thing. And also it's like, this is just a gore fest, which I get it. And it is more modern day. I don't want to see modern day. I want to see the scary SOB who just can't be stopped. And he never stops coming at you. That's what I want to see. I don't want to just see a bunch of, he's ripping off people's arms and beating them to death with it and stuff like that. That's cute that you could do stuff like that with the graphics today. But like, honestly, the reason why Jaws is as great as it is because that stupid shark Bruce kept breaking. They named the robotic shark that they were going to use all the time. They named it Bruce. And Steven Spielberg, everybody's like, oh, that's the best movie. Steven Spielberg is a genius. Steven Spielberg is not a freaking genius. I hate to tell you this. Steven Spielberg is this guy who got lucky that Bruce broke because they couldn't keep using him. They couldn't use him all the time because the mechanics of it kept on breaking. So they had to go back to, and then it's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to write it out of the scene. We got to make the movie. We got a budget. We got a time limit. We got to get, just put it in the scene. So just pretend that you see the shark. I'm going to put this broomstick over here and pretend you see the shark. Just things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That is why the movie is so great, because the shark isn't in it all the time. It's always all the speculation until the very end, and you see it, and it's like, we're going to need a bigger boat. You actually get to see the shark at the end. It's like, holy crap, now I get it. And aside from that pool scene where you see the shadow of it going forward, because like, just drag it with a rope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff. That's what made it amazing, And nowadays, it's just all about the shock factor, Like, it's like the Howard Stern horror movies, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to do something really obnoxious that's going to get people going, Arr! That's not horror. That's a gross out. That's like me puking in my hand and then, like, showing you it. That's, or chewing my food and then opening my mouth and showing you, seafood. Like, that's not horror. That's not what horror actually is. That's gore. There's a difference. There are different ratings on the MPAA system, So Ju-on was good for me, The Grudge, because it was different. Here's just this ghost, and it's angry at anybody who enters the house. Anybody. And like it suffered some kind of a tragedy, and it wants revenge, and it will come and get you, even in the middle of the day. In front of people. It will come at you in front of people. And it had that sound. And of course it did a thing where it's slowly moving forward. And and it had jump scares in it also. So it was still familiar because it was still the American version, The Grudge. So like they just had so much in it. And for me, that was like I'm listening to, power ballad, Central for 3 years back in the 80s, and all of a sudden Nirvana and Pearl Jam, more Pearl Jam than Nirvana for me. Pearl Jam just comes out, and Soundgarden and all those, and Alice in Chains, yeah! And it's like, well, this is different. It's not all about the power ballad anymore, and you got to get that excellent guitar solo in there, and then Eddie Van Halen come along, I'm going to have 2 guitar solos in every song. Dude, stop. Just stop, please. So, yeah. Sometimes you need to change. And Grudge, for me, was a great change. And I saw The Ring. That was good, too. It's like, all right, the dude's in it. Like, there's a bunch of things where it's like, she's moving and all these crazy things. But then, like, that one scene where, spoilers, he's in the boat. He gets the boat. It's like, okay, she's going to kill him before he gets to the boat. She's going to be in the boat. She's going to be in the boat. He's going to get in there, and she's not going to be there. She's going to be in the boat. And, oh, my God. And it's going to be really freaky. Nope. And she's on shore. It's like, dude, got away. He got away. And all of a sudden, nope. And that was messed up. And even the scene where it's like, I'm going to stay away. Okay, you're back there. You're going really slow. And all of a sudden, she's like, and gets right up in your face like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was some freaky stuff. It was some genuinely freaky stuff. It's not like a little freaking doll running after you, Chucky, I'm going to kill you, and cursing and stuff. It's like, come on, man. Like, those just got so old for me, you know? So, what do you call it? The Grudge was actually something very different for me. So, favorite horror movie of all time? I can't say that I necessarily have one, but, like, when people ask me that question, that's what comes to my mind immediately, The Grudge. Yeah. Ooh, I will say, you know, I don't know why I didn't think of this, and I am going to do an Explained in a minute for this character also, just because, even though I don't remember ever seeing him in the comics, but I'm going to have to look for him in the comics now. The Tall Man from Phantasm. I know, it's really weird, right? But the Tall Man for me, Angus Scrimm is the guy who played him in those Don Coscarelli movies. If you go back and you watch all of them together, it's a crazy thrill ride trip of a horror movie where it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't even know what's real or not. It's like psychedelics, but worse because they can kill you. Like the little balls of death. Like, oh my God. And they don't show the Tall Man a lot. There's all these other things that are happening. But when he does show up, even if he's not noticing the good guys, even if he's not, you know, doing anything proactive, he's just doing something. It's like, oh crap, he's right there. Such great storytelling, such great everything. I love the Phantasm. So you know what? I lied. I can choose a favorite horror movie. It would have to be the Phantasm franchise. I can't tell if I like one or two better. You know what I'm saying? They're both really good. 4 was particularly good also. And Phantasm Ravager just came out like a year ago. That wrapped up the whole series. I don't want them to do any more. Because, like, Angus Scrimm is dead now. But, like, that was, oh my God. These are just such amazing movies. I love watching those movies. They're just so cerebral. Absolutely love them. Oh, geez, what the heck? Back up. Joe Fisher. I kind of hope with Avengers 4 they end up fighting the Lethal Legion. Lethal Legion. Sorry, Lethal Legion is DC, right? Are you saying the Sinister Syndicate? Sinister Syndicate, is that what they're called? I can't remember, but you know, like Hyperion and all them, is that what you're talking about? I think that's what you mean. Timmy C, a new DC Rebirth title, I'll go for Lobo. In Justice League of America, number 20, there's going to be a battle where inside Lobo's body. Nice. Lobo was always great back in the 90s. He was really good. Like, he was really funny. Then they made that skinny Lobo, like that little sharp-dressed Lobo. They tried to pull a Moon Knight. And no, sorry. You guys aren't going to pull that off. Not with Lobo. They did it right, though. They did it right. They did say, okay, it's not the real Lobo, it turns out. It's like Kid Loki, you know? So, Sean, a preview for Batman Devastator. Devastator threw Lobo in the sun. Wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. If anybody doesn't know, that's the Doomsday version of Batman. Sean, will Fisk being mayor affect Spider-Man and Punisher? If it doesn't, then they're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't affect them, then somebody in comics is just doing that wrong. Mayor Fisk should be something that affects everybody. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just that's huge. That's huge. My favorite horror movie is the Justin Bieber movie. Sean Sindri, you know what? I might just change my answer. Except I never saw that. I think I was actually too afraid of just the previews. So, Victor, what's going on, brother? Sorry I'm late, everyone. It's all right. Drop it, give me 20. Joe Fisher. For me, the old black and white monster movies are great. Just love them. Yeah, you know, like the Universal Horror Monsters, those are really good. I had all of them. I've actually got a really cool story. Jersey's a great place, man. Jersey's a great place. I worked in a CD store back in the day when this CD store actually used to exist. And when you can actually go to a store and buy CDs. And we had DVDs also. You know, remember when things were not on digital? You had to actually buy a physical copy? Imagine that. So I went and I'm just sitting there working and chilling out the one day. And they had not the remakes, but the extra scenes what they have? It was just the Universal movies, all of the Universal horror movies, but they had extra things on there for the Van Helsing movie that had come out. So there was just that, you know. But and there was interviews and commentaries. I love commentaries. That's the thing I miss about DVDs. You know what I'm saying? Is commentaries. I love I could sit down and just listen to a good. Like, it has to be something good. But like the first Underworld movie, there were 2 commentaries in there that were great. The Matrix movie, the commentary there was great. There's a bunch of movies that I could think of. You know what I'm saying? I just loved sitting down just listening to the commentary. I don't even need to see the movie anymore. So I saw the movie once. Now I just want to listen to the commentary while they're watching the movie and I'm watching the movie. Lord of the Rings. That one wasn't so good. I watched all 3 of those. They weren't so good. It was too many people on there talking. 1 or 2 people is really all you need. I saw the commentary for The Runaways. Is that actually what that movie was called? The Joan Jett and Cherry Bomb stuff. It was a band called The Runaways. Anyway, I saw the commentary for that had the girl from Twilight, Kristen Stewart, and Joan Jett. They were both doing the commentary for the movie. It was great. It was absolutely great. I loved it. I got to listen to Joan Jett, one of my all-time guitar heroes, you know, from when I was younger. I got to listen to her having a conversation with Kristen Stewart, which is weird, but whatever. She was playing her in the movie. So we got both versions of Joan Jett. That was great. I loved that. I miss commentary. I absolutely miss commentary. Oh, looks like Dick's back. So the story is, does anybody know Sebastian Bach from Skid Row? His name is not actually Bach. It's like Bacharach or something like that. I forget what it is. But he came into the store and I didn't recognize him. Black Trans Am, or maybe it was white. Yeah, that's memory for you. I think it was a black Trans Am though. Pulled up and I'm just like, dude, Trans Am. I just saw Trans Am the other day. And I'm just like, Trans Am. Wow. You don't see those anymore. And I had to explain to my wife. She's 10 years younger than me. 9.5. Anyway, it's like, that's a Trans Am. What's Trans Am? It's a freaking awesome car. That's what you see the Firebird on the front? The freaking Phoenix? It's Trans Am. Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. I hate you, woman. I despise you. You're anathema to me. But nonetheless, so... yeah, this guy comes walking in. Now, mind you, I'm 6'5". Get out a tape measure. Victor saw me. What do you call it? Get out a tape measure. Actually measure 6'5" so you can see it. I'm really tall. You know what I'm saying? This guy dwarfed me by at least an inch or 2. Like, I'm looking up at, like, he walks in the store, I'm just like, whatever. He's in all denim, the denim jacket, the jeans, and all that, and he's just walking around, he's looking around, whatever, and he comes up and all he buys, the only thing that this dude buys is the DVD for The Werewolf, the original Lon Chaney. He buys the Werewolf DVD. So I'm like, dude, and mind you, I don't recognize him. I don't recognize him at all. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I was like, dude, awesome choice. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. I was like, yeah, dude, they actually we've got all of them over there if you're interested. You know, like the Frankenstein, the Dracula, they got the Mummy, they got the Creature from Black Lagoon. I already got them all. They're good stuff. They actually have all these extra scenes on the commentary and blah, blah, blah. And we get into a conversation about commentary. He loves commentary. So, like, we're brothers. So we're just talking and whatnot. And I was like, hey, so do you have your membership card and stuff like that? Or do you have one? He's like, yeah, actually, da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. So, like, okay, cool. And it's a P.O. box. And I see it says, like, Sebastian Bacharach. So I look at it and I was like, wow. Does anybody ever confuse you with Sebastian Bach? And I look up at him and I swear to God, I still don't make the freaking connection because I like to think I'm smart, but when there's somebody standing right in front of me, I'm thinking, that's too unlikely. So Sebastian Bach is in front of me and I'm asking him if anybody's ever confused his name with Sebastian Bach. I'm going to get a whole bunch of unsubs, and I deserve it. So this dude, he just looks at me. He's like, yeah, actually, sometimes I do. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just saying, I would totally go for it. Easily one of the best voices in freaking music. So, yeah. And I was like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, whatever. So we stopped talking, and then I'm putting the stuff in the bag, and I go and hand it over to him. And he says, so do you like Skid Row? I was like, yeah, dude, Skid Row's awesome. He's like, what's your favorite song? I was like, Breakdown. Has to be. Breakdown. Like, I know it's off the third album. I know everybody likes the first album, you know, blah, blah, blah. I love the first album. Love the first album. You know what I'm saying? 18 in Life is just like, that's storytelling. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what it is about the guitar and the vocals. Like, the lyrics are pretty cool, whatever, but like the vocals and everything. And I remember watching the Prophecy movie with Christopher Walken, that first one, and in the end credits as they're rolling, there's this song, you know what I'm saying, by Skid Row, Breakdown. And I'm just like, this is really catchy. This is really good. And it's funny because, like, when I want to, I can just put, this was, you know, before YouTube, you know, whatever. I didn't know if YouTube had music and things like that at the time. It was new. So I'm just like, I could just sit there and listen to that song on repeat over and over for like a good 5-6 times in a row. It's a really good song. You know, I was like, what about you? He's like, I don't know. I can't decide which one is my favorite. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Anyway, all right, talk to you later, brother. And he leaves. And I'm just like, doo-doo-doo. And the girl who, I'm the assistant manager of the store, and I'm working with the manager that day. And she comes over, she's like, what were you guys talking about? So I was just like, oh, we're talking about this, this, and this. She's like, you asked him if people confuse him with Sebastian Bach? I was like, yeah, why? She's like, because that's Sebastian Bach. And there I am looking out the window. I was like, are you serious? She's like, that's him. He comes in the store often. I was like, I didn't know that. So, yeah, stupid me. Didn't even realize it was him. Oh, my God. So that, yeah. I got a whole bunch of stories from me meeting celebrities, and I don't realize it's them. Oh, man. Okay, so what else do we got? Count Orlok. Dick Fillmore. What the frick are you talking about? Oh, wait, right above here. Tim C. Lobo vs. Hitman was fun read, so a new Rebirth title I'm also going for is Hitman, especially if someone other than McCree draws it. Okay, here's where I'm going to say something that I have never heard a single comic book guru on YouTube say. I don't know who Hitman is. I don't know who Hitman is. Please educate me on who Hitman is. I'll look him up, whatever, all that good stuff. Count Orlok. I guess that has something to do with that. Joe Fisher says, Candlebox, love the first album. The other stuff, not too much as good, but I still like the group. Yeah, that first album was really good. Left You Far Behind. Yeah, that was a really good song. Actually, I remember singing the one song one day, and all this. I think I was actually on my honeymoon, and I sang that, and all of a sudden the lyrics just hit me. I was like, hey, that girl's dead. Yeah, really good one. Literally, like that. There was a lot of songs about, you know, death, about somebody dying. I remember Down in a Hole had just come out at least around the same time from Alice in Chains, and yeah, I was in Malta. I was in Malta at the time. That I was walking with my firstborn, my daughter. I'm walking around with her like this, and it's time for her to sleep. My wife and she and I are on vacation, and we're just walking around Malta with this tour group. I have my daughter up here like this so she can, you know, sleep in my arms because it's around nap time for her. And we're getting ready. We're actually getting ready to walk back towards the bus now to take us back to the cruise ship. And I started singing Down in a Hole to make her sleep because it's a nice low sound. I could do a very low octave to her and whatnot. And it's just, you know, it is melodic, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and she was a year and a half. She was a year and a half old at the time. She didn't know what I was singing. She just heard the melodic, you know, melody and just, she knocked out. And I remember people are walking up to me like, are you singing Alice in Chains to her? I was like, yeah, because I'm a cool dad. And nobody could disagree, really, you know? So, yeah. Music, yeah, huge influence. Victor, I'm a child. I hate scary movies. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Sean, no, Lethal Legion is Marvel. It is? Oh, okay. Joe Fisher, now it's with Grim Reaper. Oh, the Grim Reapers group. Okay, they were the Lethal Legion. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Simon Williams' brother. I have to do Grim Reaper, right? Because I did freaking Simon Williams. I kind of have to do his brother. Okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot that was their name. Okay. So, will you start reviewing Moon Girl? All right, Sean, sure. I'll start doing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I'll start doing Moon Girl. Now tell me which 2 titles I should drop. Tower Records. Memories. Oh, you worked at Tower Records? Nice. Nice, dude. Tim C. I'm with you on the DVD commentaries. I just said that to someone today. There you go. Great minds think alike. Dick Fillmore, John Carpenter, and Kurt Russell. Yes, commentary on... Oh, really? I didn't know there was a commentary for Big Trouble in Little China. Okay, done. I have to get that because that is one of the all-time greatest movies. Yes. Okay, absolutely. You know what I have? You know what's a comic book that's out right now that I didn't read yet? Old Man Jack. Old Man Jack, which is based on the Kurt Russell character in Big Trouble in Little China, because there's a Big Trouble in Little China comic book out now, but now they're doing Old Man Jack in the vein of Old Man Logan. I haven't actually read it yet, but clearly I have to. Clearly I must. That's on a must-do list. Sean, in Inhumans, Once and Future Kings, for Maximus is getting medicine for Aunt May. That's... Oh, God. I don't want to talk about that. There's still 2 more issues, and I guess I should finish them, but... Like, I know I'm going to get the next one, and even if it's the worst freaking comic book in the world, I'm still going to get the 5th one, just because... Dick Fillmore, I trained Sebastian Bach's son to be a strip club DJ. I'm friends with his ex-stripper mom. This freaking guy. That's awesome. Oh, wow. Shoot. And you're all the way out in Oklahoma, and he's a Jersey guy. So, that's interesting. They moved out. Whatever. Whatevs, man. To be a strip club DJ. That's freaking hysterical. Joe Fisher. Grim Reaper, Lethal Legion was Grim Reaper, Laserman, Man-Ape, yes, Power Man, Swordsman, yes. And later on, most of those guys wound up joining up with the Masters of Evil in one of the greatest Avengers storylines ever. When people are like, I never really found anything good with the Avengers, it's like, dude, you didn't pick up the Avengers. That's what it is. There were so many great Avengers storylines. Just don't even. And I'm gonna argue this easily online with what the X-Men have put out with their big events, not their big events, with their storylines. Very similar with the Avengers. It's just they kept on changing up the characters, the roster all the time. The X-Men didn't really change up their roster, so you got to get more invested in each individual character. With the Avengers, it was more about the storyline. So it's like okay, well. If this person's in this storyline, it's going to make it hard. So I'm going to kick that person out of the group and pull this person in. So yeah, it was more about the story. So there's something there. There's an interesting balance. Sean, remember how the new Lethal Legion photo I sent you? Yes, sorry. Dick Fillmore laughing at me. I might be the only one who owns a Skid Row album here. Nope. Well, I don't have any more of mine, but yes, I had the first 3 albums. I think there were 4 total. Dick Fillmore. You know what? The drummer, I can't remember his name, Arpello or something like that, but the drummer for Skid Row, he actually had a radio talk show. He actually had a radio program at one point that I used to listen to on my way home from my night job. So it was on, at one point it was on at midnight. So I would be able to hear it for like 20 minutes. And it was just one of the coolest things ever, just hearing him talk about things or whatever. He has a real big grudge. He had a huge mad-on back in the day, like 2010, 2011, against Sebastian Bach. I don't know if that's changed since then, but he really didn't like him. I understand. Joe says, good enough. Because you had the first Skid Row album, but it was a tape. No, that's good, man. I like tapes. I still like tapes. Jack Burton and Snake Plissken comic is out too. Yes, okay, so are you reading that one? I was thinking about getting that one also, because that's just such a great crossover. It's like, you look like me, you look like me. I haven't read it, but I was thinking about doing it. I figured I would wait to see how long it goes and then just read them all together in trade or something. Oregon, sorry, not Oklahoma. You're not an Okie, you're an Oregani. An origami. John Hodges, hey, what's going on, brother? Better late than never. You're right. Drop Captain Marvel. Sean, dude, man, we talked about this. We even talked about how I can't drop her now. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll see what's up. All right, guys, that's an hour right there on the mark. Starting right... Bang, there it is. That's an hour. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm actually going to try and get a jump on my my stuff to do in the future because this running late thing is horrible. I had some my next door neighbors came over. They wanted to play with my kids. These two girls wanted to come over and play with my sons. So I was actually while I was watching the Geek podcast today. Their Saturday live chat. I was watching it, and right in the middle of it, I hear a knock on my door. I'm like, hello? And my kids had just woken up. I didn't even make them lunch yet. I was just finishing up some stuff. And they came in, and they're like, hey, can we come over and play? I was like, yeah, sure. I don't want to say no. Like, yeah, sure, come on over, hang out, And what do you call it? So, I got just caught up in the middle of that. So I had to stop what I was doing. I was trying to do the final edits on my Dracula. And whatever, man. I just muscled through it. I had to, I had them for 45 minutes, whatever, and then I came right back at the very butt end of the frickin' thing. Batman is a Zorro ripoff. Actually, he's more of a Zorro and Shadow ripoff. But yeah, on top of that, what do you call it? Shadow explained in a minute. Comic Book University. Who's your favorite Batman and Superman ripoffs? That's a hard one, dude. That's a really hard one. But Thor. Thor is my favorite Superman ripoff. And he's only a ripoff because the big red cape. Literally. That's the thing that DC tried to contest. Aside from that, though, it would probably be Captain Marvel. Because, nowadays it's called Shazam because lawsuits. Favorite Batman ripoff? I don't know. Batman? Yes, Shadow too. Here's the thing. Also a little bit of Lone Ranger in there too. Sorry. I'm just going to keep on throwing it. No, those three specifically. Okay, so... Oh, for crying out loud, I was going to say something else. I can't remember it now. Oh, that's the funny thing. Somebody actually... I put up the Dracula Explained in a Minute, and inside of a half an hour, it got 10 dislikes. 10 dislikes! Which means it's clearly one person who's got 10 freaking accounts and goes on there, okay, dislike, change everything up, okay, dislike, okay, switch everything out, different account, dislike, literally 10 times over. I actually felt the need to do that. And it's clearly a subscriber because I just put the thing up. So, and the only thing I can think of to say with all the hard work that I put into it and everything, and just the, if you guys knew how much effort I have to put into these things to get every single detail right, as up to date as possible, to try and get my voice, and I got kids, so I got to do it in the middle of the night is the time that I actually record all these things. And then filtering out everything, because in the middle of the night, I'm not too far away from Pearson Airport, the YYT in Toronto. It's right out there. You know what I'm saying? So in between jets flying and then there are cars outside, all these crazy things I have to go through to get this freaking thing up. And then I got to put together, so I got to get the pictures, I got to put them on, and I animate everything and all this stuff that I do. And those are the ones I actually put up the transcriptions for. I actually do the closed captions for all those in excruciating detail. I make sure everything is perfect so that it's dressed right, so if somebody hits closed captions that you can read it, because I really want everybody to be able to experience this character. And if you're hearing impaired, I don't want you to be like, you're screwed, you're stuck with the lousy YouTube transcriptions. No, I want the actual words that I say to be on there. So I go into painful detail to put all these out there. So much work and effort. And for somebody to come up and do 10 dislikes like that, I can't help but to say, thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate that, seriously, because the way the YouTube algorithms works is you just gave me 10 full views, 10 views, and you gave me 10 bits of activity on there. The only other way you could have made it better is if you would have made 10 comments on there saying, you suck or whatever. That would have been great. Next time, please add that. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you don't like me, and maybe it's not a don't like me, maybe they're like a really diehard Christian, and they're all like, no, it is good for my religion if I dislike Dracula stuff because he's evil. He drank the blood of Christ. He didn't drink the blood of Christ in the Marvel comics. Sorry, that's not how it worked. That's in the what do you call it? In other stories. But for this, I can't help but to say thank you very much for all the activity. You know what I'm saying? Please don't take the dislikes off. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you'll give me 10 more views, and taking the dislikes off will show more activity. But the idea is, with all that on there, it's a permanent thing. Because who is really going to go to a video and they're going to be like, oh, Dracula explained in a minute. Oh, there are a lot of dislikes on there. I don't think I'm going to look at the video. That's good. That's more likely to make people say, okay, check it out. Because if I have 100 likes on a video, people are going to be like, oh, okay, it's typical video. I'll put it, maybe I'll watch later. But if it's like 1 million dislikes on the thing, or 100 dislikes, or 10 dislikes, they'll be like, hey, there's more dislikes than likes. I got to see this train wreck. This is literally like people driving, you know what I'm saying, down the street, and all of a sudden there's like somebody's changing the tire on the side of the road, and they're just all like, you know, oh look at that. You know, so they got to slow down, and everybody else is like, oh, come on, what's going on up there? Oh, there's the thing. What is going on there? Oh, somebody's changing the tire. That's the reason why we're all going slow, myself included. The car's way up there. Oh, let's catch up now. Like, everybody loves a train wreck. So all those dislikes on there, grazie, bene, grazie, bellissimo, magnifique, eh? It's a perfecto, eh? I genuinely appreciate you taking the time and effort and energy, not equal to the energy I did for making the video, but thank you for taking forth the energy to put forth the effort to log out of your account, log into a different account, go to my video, give it a dislike, give it long enough so that the video will actually pop up, and give it a dislike, and do the same process, watch, rinse, repeat 10 times. Man, I don't know what your mental problem is, and I hope that it's really good therapy for you being able to do that. But I can't help but to say thank you. And I've got plenty of other videos that you can go and do also. Please specifically do that with the Explained in a Minute, because while I know that I get more views for my reviews, you know, or more views for my reviews, I think that's what I said, it just sounds weird. What I really want to be known for, Comic Book University, is my spotlights on stories and the Explained in a Minute. So I'm just saying, you want to swing by, give a like, that's cool. But if you give a dislike, for me, for YouTube, it's the exact same thing. So I don't honestly mind. So by all means, hey, click dislike on this video while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. Anyway, guys, what else is in there? Does your wife know I send you nudes? You don't send me nudes. If it was nudes, it'd be a problem, man. What do you call it? You send that girl, what the heck is her name? Fetty, F-E-T-Y, is that her name? Fetty Does Stuff? I think that's what it is. Anyways, she's cute. Too young for me, but she's cute. But I haven't seen any actual nudity, just like cleavage and stuff like that. What do you call it? People make no sense. Nah. Sometimes it's so easy, Victor. Sometimes it's so easy to see people. It's just like, psh, whatever. Dick Fillmore, I appreciate all your hard work, brother. Thank you very much. And boom, right back at you. What does that mean anyway? Like, I remember the old trick where you do that and, like, you know, then you look inside. If you guys don't know what that is, you got to ask somebody. 'Cause that's but, no, thank you, mate. Yeah, I genuinely do. Like, it's hard work, and it takes me away from, you know, sleep. But, and I don't get to play with my kids quite as much as I normally would. But for the most part, it's what I love to do. I love being able to explain these comic book characters. Literally, like, it gives me something to do. It's something that actually makes me happy. And sometimes it's hard to find happiness. You know what I'm saying? So something like this, like doing this is actually good therapy for me. I'm not going to lie. You know, like, this stuff actually makes me happy. So, that means we got John Hodges says, that means we got to get everyone we know to go like it. That'd be cool. You know, hey, honestly, John Hodges actually, yeah, John, I'm glad that you said that. You seem to be sharing all my videos, which, make no mistake, brother, I notice it, I recognize it, and I can't even tell you how much I appreciate it. And I don't want to be that jerk who goes and, like, likes my own videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy. So, like, you know, when you share the stuff on Facebook like that, I genuinely, like, in my heart appreciate it. I was like, dude just shared my freaking video. That's awesome. That is freaking awesome, you know? Every single time you do that, I do get the notification on Facebook. Like I said, I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Just literally just getting it out there. Joe Fisher, I remember the Shazam TV series, but I think I watched it in reruns. Yeah, I don't know if I watched it in reruns or not. I think I watched it when they first came out with Isis also, right? It'd be Isis, and then it'd be the Captain Marvel TV show. Yeah, and then they also had the cartoon, the Captain Marvel cartoon, which I went back and watched those. I actually downloaded those. Like, they're so horrible. I remember them so fondly, but they suck. Like, Black Adam is on there. He's like, okay, bad guy. It's like, whoa, when did this guy become a freaking old school mafioso from the 20s? What's going on here? Victor, maybe they're an Apocalypse fanboy. They may be. Oh, no, they didn't dislike the Spotlight. They disliked the one that I'm actually showing on there, the Explained in a Minute for Dracula. Go figure. Dick Fillmore, the Shocker. Oh, yeah, okay. No, the Shocker is this one. No, this one. This one's a Shocker. This one's a Shocker. I can't remember all my stuff. You got Facebook? I'll have to friend you. Yes, go to Comic Book University, or just go to, what do you call it? The, at realprofessorbill.com. Or if you want, just go to Bill. Look up Bill. My friend Rick actually put he superimposed my face over the Iron Fist comic, so my face and my hair over not the comic, the the Iron Fist Netflix series. There's the poster where he's walking forward. He superimposed my face over that in like Photoshop or something like that, so I use that as my profile right now. Right, so if you go to Bill, 2 words, DA space BILL, boom, you'll see me. You just look for that picture, and yeah, that's me on Facebook. Understand though, guys, understand, I put a lot of hateful anti-Trump stuff on there, so if you're a Trump supporter, you're not going to like my Facebook. I'm adamantly vehement against Trump. I despise him. Absolute despise him, so there's that. Yeah. And I don't like racism. If I see racist stuff, like on your stuff, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to like let this guy go. Maybe I'll unfollow you. Maybe if it's like particularly abhorrent, I don't want to have anything on there. So that's just a heads up. Like, I genuinely despise that stuff. So yeah, that's me. Anyway, but by all means, yeah, follow me on Facebook. Just join me, friend me, send me a friend. I'll send you back a friend request. Whatever. It's cool. All that. Love your Facebook then. Oh yes, the Vulcan. Why did... See, now my wife's going to slap me if she doesn't watch these podcasts. I could tell you anything, and she won't know. But, yes, the Vulcan thing, live long and prosper. She loves Star Trek. I introduced her to Star Trek, and she loves Star Trek. Laughing at your laugh. This is Vulcan. Okay, what is LLAP? Jeez, is that like Las Lunes Associated Press? I'm trying to think of what those initials are. I don't know what it is. Anyway, send it. I'm going to bounce now. Yes, I'm going to get to work and try and put something else. I'm actually going to give you guys a heads up. I wanted to do it earlier, but I haven't been watching Gotham, so I didn't know that he was going to show up. But I have already done the voice recording and everything for Professor Pig. Yeah, I wanted to get out before the actual episode came out. I think it came out yesterday or something like that. Whatever. So anyways, live long and prosper. Thank you, John. See, just derf. Anyway, so Professor Pig, Explained in a Minute, coming out on Tuesday. It's about time I'm doing some freaking DC, right? And I need to seriously add into the DC universe. So I need to do Victor. I've got his freaking thing on there. Victor Stone. I'm like looking at the poster that I've got up there. Victor Stone, Explained in a Minute, for the Justice League movie coming out. I think I'm finished with the Thor thing. I don't think there's anything else, but I'll keep my mind open. Wednesday or Thursday when the movie drops, I'm going to go see that. I will do a review of, like my take on the movie. As soon as I come home from doing that, I'll do that live. I'll try and make the thumbnail beforehand. And then, if there's any other characters that they introduced in there, I'll simply do that, Explained in a Minute also. It looks like they're actually worshipping a statue of Thanos in the latest issue, which is kind of cool. Also, for Dick especially, the the new Thanos renumbering, it looks like it might be a lot cooler. Thanos is a lot more like evil. He's actually showing how evil he is, but without like actually just trying to do evil for evil's sake, but rather understanding that this is his nature, the way that he's supposed to be written. You know what I'm saying? It's like he is nature. He is a force of nature, an evil force of nature. While Adam Warlock, by his nature, tries to do good and tries to set things right. Thanos is the one who's trying to upset that balance. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to cause death. I like how he just kind of backhanded death. He's like, GTFO, man, get out of here. I ain't talking to you no more. So he's kind of free of that now. With him being free from that lust for death, it could potentially make him a lot more powerful. They didn't do anything yet with the Hela, so that is really annoying. I expected them to actually follow up with that. If you saw the end of the Unworthy Thor limited run, they were in a full-fledged lip lock, and they didn't do anything with that. So I don't get it. But whatevs. So hopefully they're going to do something really good with him in the renumbering. It looks like he's going to be a lot more brutal, so boom, that's something. We'll see what happens. I was really confused. Thought you were saying my name. Oh, no. No, I'm not looking at a picture of you. I'm looking at a picture of Cyborg up there. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to bounce. All right, guys, live long and prosper. Ciao. Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed. See you later, guys. Thank you for